Comedy is very much like one's sexual preferences. Some people like very gentle, some people like the rough stuff, and as long as it's consenting, I'm fine. This comedy-wise this is the rough stuff. This is the BDSM. So if that's not for you, if you don't even get those references, don't watch this video.
I've been described as the hardest working man in comedy. Not that impressive, is it? The hardest working man in comedy. That's like being the best looking guy in the Burns unit. No offense to any Burns victims we got in. Are there any in? If there's one, there'll be fucking loads. They tend to stick together. Has anyone in here been flashed? Yeah. Go on, what happened, madam? Is it a funny story or is it distressing?
I was in a club and some guy flashed me.
In a club? In a club and someone flashed you in the club?
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't go off with a man in a club? I was kissing him and I undid his zip and then he flashed me. Go on, what happened? Tell me the story.
It was in the middle of the dance floor.
Middle of the dance floor, and he was throwing some shapes, and one of his was...
No, my friend told him that we were lesbians to get rid of him.
So to get rid of the guy, your friend told him you were lesbians. That's how these two started, but then they liked it, so they stuck with it. And did that work?
Oh, she said, we don't like cock. And then he
She said, we don't like cock. So sorry, so someone got his cock out in the middle of the dance floor in a club, and you went, oh no, sorry, we're lesbians. You could have just told him to fuck off. You're incredibly polite. I'll make up an excuse so he doesn't feel bad. I don't want the flasher to feel rejected. How nice are you? And has anyone else been flashed? You got arrested for flashing? Well, don't take it out on me. What do you mean you got arrested for flashing?
Well, I was going for a piss.
You were going for a piss? This sounds like bullshit to me. You were going for a piss. Where were you going for a piss? Set the scene for us. I've never met anyone that's flashed. Go on. It's going for a piss in a primary school.
In a car park.
Got in a car park, okay.
Outside.
In a car park outside, you're going for a piss. Caught short. Late at night, fine, okay.
Yeah, and I needed a piss, so I went up against a tree.
You went up against a tree.
Yeah.
Turned out it wasn't a tree, it was a fat girl. Go on, so you walked up to a tree to take a pee in a car park. This doesn't sound terrible. So far, I'm on this guy's side. Go on.
So there was a woman in the trees.
There was a woman in the trees. Sounds like you've broken dogging etiquette by pissing on someone. So you went up to take a piss on a tree, and there was a woman in the tree.
She was walking, there's a pathway,
She was walking, okay.
and it was outside a police station.
And it was outside a police station. What kind of a fucking idiot are you? You went for a piss in the police station car park. Why don't you just turn yourself in? That's a cry for help if ever I heard one. Lock me up before I hurt someone. And what, did she scream? Did she complain? What happened?
No, she went into the police station, and they came out and arrested me for indecent exposure.
They came out and arrested you for indecent... Is it because you're a bit ginger? Do you think they would have let you off if you hadn't been quite as... I'm sorry about these lights as well. We could well be giving you skin cancer. I think I'm on your side there. If you're taking a piss, that's not indecent exposure, is it? What do you think? Are we on this guy's side? Yeah. There's one man, no. Stop pissing outside, you crazy fool. I saw a thing on the news, it said that bad drivers are going to get on the spot £100 fines. I thought, it's a bit sexist. Did you understand that? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'm not being sexist. How could it be? Some of my best friends are slags. The average person in Great Britain laughs out loud 10 times a day. Not everyone, obviously. If you work in a hospice or with learning disabled adults, it could be 10 times that. Sky's the limit. got a question for you, ladies and gentlemen. Does anyone in this room believe in the supernatural? Ghosts and spirits and the like? Yeah. Quite a lot of you. It's actually easy to tell if your house is haunted. It isn't. Grow up. That's me being cynical, but that's this job. Being a stand-up comedian, I think, makes you a bit of a cynic. Has anyone in here actually seen a ghost? Well, go on, what did you see, madam? Tell us the story. And there was no one there. Go on, what did you see? I'm not, I make you nervous. You've seen the undead. And I make you nervous. Doesn't really show me in a good light, does it? Go on. Where were you when you saw the apparition? You were in a friend's house, right? Her stepfather was what, sorry? I think I may have cracked this case already. There's a stepfather involved. Was there ectoplasm? Go on, what happened? Were you upstairs? Were you... You were in his son's bedroom? Of course you were, love. Go on. He had died. You should have mentioned that sooner. And then you started seeing weird shit. I'm loving this. There's a special name for people that have seen ghosts. Schizophrenic. All the best with your future. Quite an in-depth story. I'll leave it at that. Stepfather did something terrible. And you've recoded that memory. Have we got any teachers in this evening? Gives you shout any teachers? Oh, loads of teachers in. You work bloody hard, don't you, teachers? Half the year, 5 hours a day. I'm not knocking it. I could never do what you people do for a living. Not because it's difficult. I wouldn't pass a CRB check. The most annoying thing my sister does is that show, Chatty Man. That's the most annoying heckle that I get at gigs. I like it when people join in. I like a bit of a heckle and a bit of fun. But the most annoying one I get is when I've set up a joke, just about to do the punchline, and someone goes, invariably it's the same thing. It's always, where's Alan? Where's Alan? It's not my, like, bête noire. It's just a bit annoying. Where's Alan? Who's at your house fucking your dad? I think we all knew, including him, I think we all knew that was a trap. I could feel you as one going, hold, hold, hold. And then one brave soul over there said, no. I'm taking one for the team. Or rather, your dad is. I saw a woman wearing a top, it said super dry on the front. I said, have you thought about lubricants or HRT? Maybe a little bit of Aussie charm? Are you familiar with the term Aussie charm? Just means... Australian charm, you're welcome. Very pleasing look from the ladies of London as if to say, well, I didn't know that had a name, but yes, that does happen. Of course, not all fat people are jolly. Some of them are women. I shouldn't be mean. Fat girls have got feelings. Mainly, they're hungry. It's only a joke, isn't it? It's only a bit of fun. I told it the other night and a girl got up and walked out. Well, waddled out. I presume offended, possibly just peckish. Let's hear it from all the heterosexual men in the room. Give us a shout, all the heterosexual men. I'm guessing from that expression... I can't remember which one heterosexual is. I'm not taking a chance. Maybe this is how they recruit them. I thought my girlfriend was a slag when she told me I was her 30-second lover, and then I realised she was talking about time. There is a minimum comprehension level. You may be asked to leave. I'm sorry. Of course, not all gay people are happy, camp, and fun. Some of them are lesbians. If you're a lesbian and you didn't find that funny, you're surprising no one. Are there any lesbians in? No, my gaydar is pretty much honed in on this pair down there. Hello, how are you two? You all right? Yeah. Are you, I presume you're a couple?
Married, yes.
You're married? Oh, congratulations. Fabulous. How long have you been married?
Since October.
Since October? My God, it's new and fresh. Have you even finished consummating the relationship?
No.
You don't know when you're finished, do you? That's one of the problems with your lifestyle choice. We'll just put that on hold. We'll be back in a minute. Well, so you're married, you're committed to each other. Well, it's maybe a crazy question to ask you because you're in this long-term relationship and you love each other, but what would it take to get you back on solids? She's a definite no and you're a maybe. Okay, good. What, sorry? You used to teach at my school, at Burnham Grammar. Did you? Not when I was there, surely. No, unless you moisturise a lot. Where are you from? You're from Belfast, right? Ginger and community. I was just saying what you said to me back. Oh, how come you're teaching over here then? Are you in the witness relocation scheme? What the fuck happened? Fucking grass. What do you teach? What subject? What, sorry? English? You can barely fucking pronounce. I don't really understand the vajazzle. I mean, I know what a vajazzle is. I know what it is. They whip away all the hair from your foo-foo, and then they diamante it. I say they, I imagine you get some Pritt stick and glitter and have a crack yourself. Have a sparkly crack yourself, you're welcome. I just don't know who that's for. I've never met a man who said to me, oh, I love vaginas. But I wish they're a bit more zhuzhy. A few more sparkles wouldn't go amiss. I want a glamour puss, a showbiz entrance. Has anyone had a vajazzle? She had. What motif did you go for, madam? You had a heart because you were embarrassed to ask for...
Like something spectacular.
You were embarrassed to ask for something spectacular. So you were fine with someone putting glitter on your fanny, but you went, I don't want to ask for anything embarrassing. How adorable. And was it for a special occasion, or was it just...
No, I just thought, why not?
You thought, why not? Well, plenty of fucking reasons. Basic hygiene. Your boyfriend could chip a tooth. And it was definitely a proper vajazzle, not a Liverpool vajazzle, which is just a euphemism for herpes. Has anyone else come across a vajazzle? He has. Not hers, I hope. Go on, what did they have?
Can't remember. It was my stag do in my...
You can't remember? It was your stag do. Oh, you can't remember anything. Sounds like a Liverpool vajazzle to me. No, love, I don't know what happened. It's just really itchy. Fucking hell. Ladies consume pornography in a very different way to men, and the genders are very different in our consumption of pornography. Here's a fact, gentlemen, that will blow your minds about women's consumption of pornography. Women watch porn films to the end. You know why? To see if they get married. Worst gifts. What's the worst gift? What, sorry? You got a bread maker. Your husband bought you a bread maker. What a fucking arsehole. No, I just hate the whole concept. Because bread makers, I mean, I spent like 200 quid on a bread maker. That's convenient, isn't it? Because you don't live near shops and bread isn't fucking cheap. Oh, I'll just make my own, that's fine. Because the ingredients cost more than a loaf of bread, but don't worry about it. So what did you get him? Instead of an engagement ring, you got a bread maker instead of an engagement ring. You broke up with him, right? You've just divorced him. Yay! Why did you go through with marrying him? I mean, that must have been fucking awkward in the office. Oh. Look at this. Oh, it's a nice one. Sparkly. You poor thing. Any other bad gifts? You got what, sir? A dog pooper scooper. Do you have a dog? At the time, yes. What the fuck have you done with your dog, dude? What happened to your dog? You don't have him anymore. Oh, Toby's mum ate him. The fat bitch. Sorry, dude. What is the worst gift you've ever got? Birthday, anniversary, Christmas, Valentine's. What is the worst piece of shit you ever got? We've had a heckle. Go on, what was that, sir? A little bit louder.
Tickets to this show.
No, what's fine. Sir, what's your name? What, sorry? Toby. Toby, do you mind me sharing with the group? Thank you very much indeed, Toby. That makes it much easier. Because there's a heckle. It's quite a good heckle, quite a funny heckle. But we have to do a heckle put down now. God. I would love if I could just let it go, but I can't. There are rules. But you don't mind me sharing with the group, so it makes it much easier. We can go old school. What, sorry?
Stop stalling.
Stop stalling. Don't panic, sir. I've got this. I'll have to put you on arsehole waiting. Toby's mum is so fat. She's a fucking disgrace, Toby. Your mum is such a chunky monkey wobble slob. Fatty boom batty blubbernaut. She's so fucking fat, when she fell down the stairs, I thought EastEnders had finished. Boom, 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 bum, 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 bum. True story. You, sir. What did you say? What was it? Stop stalling? Yeah? What's your name? Gary. Are you trying to say Gary? Watch me. Gary. Yeah. 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 The fuck is that? Well, Gary, if you want my comeback, you'll have to scrape it off your mum's teeth.
Moral dilemma for you, all right. Anne Widdecombe, George Clooney, if you had to. You'd go for Anne Widdecombe? Are you mental? She's got a face like a bulldog licking the piss off a nettle. And she's a hell of a size. You're a slip of a lad, she'd fuck you in half. And that is only where your problems begin, because I imagine her peachy pouch, her Lala, her Fufu, her Wendy, her special lady garden, call it what you will, I bet it looks like a badger that's been hit with a shotgun. I bet there are police divers that would be squeamish about going down on that. I bet it looks like a bulldog eating mayonnaise. I bet George Clooney's got the prettiest cock you've ever seen. Why don't you just spit roast her? You're suggesting I double team Anne Widdecombe with George Clooney. Now that is a celebrity sex tape that would sell. Someone said that the other day, Marcus. Someone was as macho as you the other day. They went, well, yeah, Anne Widdecombe, just put a bag over her head. Really? Has that ever happened, ladies? How low would your self-esteem have to be that you would fuck a guy who's just gone, can I just... That's better. If I wasn't a comedian...
If you couldn't be a comedian,
If I couldn't be a comedian, many people would say I can't be. There is a school of thought that says, what the fuck is he doing? But go on, if I couldn't be a comedian...
What would you do for a living? What would you like to do?
the same as you, I would dress up as Amelie. And wander the streets looking for adventure. It's a good look, I'm loving that. But what do you do?
I'm a student.
You're a student. Where are you studying? Are you studying in London?
Canterbury.
Canterbury? Oh, never mind. Maybe if you'd worked a little bit harder for your A-levels. Canterbury University, you say Canterbury, but what I hear is clearing. Yeah, there's no shame in that, that's fine. Any other thoughts? Oh, go on, you've got one.
What's the best thing that's ever happened to you?
What's the best thing? The time we fucked. I know you don't remember, but that is the wonder of Rohypnol. Trust me, it was magical. Well, you are good. No, you're now saying you're good at fucking. That's great. I'll put that on my DVD and your mum and dad can watch. The man next to you, incidentally, is sort of going... She's got a point. She's fucking marvellous. Excellent. Nice to get a good review. Any other thoughts, questions?
What flavoured soup would you be?
He said, if you were a soup, what flavoured soup would you be? Is that who I think it is? Is that the BFG? What kind of a soup would you be? I would be a lovely, delicious wonton soup. I don't know what kind of a soup. What kind of a soup would you be? Is there a leading... I'd be tomato and basil. You've got the loveliest voice in the world. What, sorry? Get you a date? Not a problem. Do you like 13-year-old boys? Sorry, mate. We're all having a laugh. You're going, is that going to happen? I don't know. You're fine. You're golden. And what's your name, sir? Stephen. Steve. What do you do, Steve? I'm a dentist. And I like soup. You're never going to chip a tooth on soup. Said the BFG. You're wasted. You should be doing voiceovers. It's lovely.
I've got a date with you.
There is a large titted slag that will fuck you. That's fair, isn't it? That's okay. That was lovely, though. She's pretty hot. She's all right. I don't know if you can see her. Can you see her there, Steve? She's all right. Could she stand up? I don't think she could because you'll topple forward. Would you like to have a go on that? She said woo really, really quietly, but it picked up an echo from her normal... It's going to be like throwing a sausage up an alleyway, but... I'm only kidding. What's your name, madam? Tracy. Tracy. Of course it fucking is. Of course. If you're on a date with a woman, do tell her you've got feelings for her. Don't tell her it's an erection. Do walk her home. Don't follow her home. Do surprise her. Don't wear a balaclava. Do offer to pay for dinner. Don't offer to pay for anything else. Unless it's Tracy, in which case a bag of chips will get you laid. Hey, Tracy. Of course, a lot of women don't want to have sex on a first date, even if they want to have sex on a first date, because they think if they have sex on a first date, it makes them a slag or a slut or something. Well, not anymore, ladies. You're going to have to do more than that to be a slag these days. Am I right, Tracy? What do you do, madam?
I work for Nationwide in Human Resources.
You work for Nationwide in Human Resources?
I imagine you've been saying to people, well, you're fired quite a lot recently. We have done fucked up the country. Fuck off. Right, good on you. Human resources, the lady sciences. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I do for a living. I think of little jokes in my head, and then I tell them to you so that you'll like me. It sounds a bit tragic when I say, what was that? It's not working? Well, you can fuck off. This is as good as it ever fucking goes. I don't come to your work and knock the sailors' cocks out your mouth, do I? Where are you? It's not working, man. Give us a wave. What do you do, sir? You do telecoms. What do you do? Do you? I do you. I do you telephone. What, sorry? You build them networks. Ironically, you work in communications and can hardly string a fucking sentence together. Jesus. There's quite a lot of young people in. If you're young and your parents are getting divorced, it can be a very difficult time. But remember, it's not your fault. Your mum's a slag. It's pretty bad being told you're adopted, but not as bad as being told you're gonna be adopted. In America, in Oklahoma, where that fertilizer bomb went off, they've now got a garden of remembrance. And it has come up a treat. So every cloud. These kids in American high schools, I'm sure you've read about them, 14, 15, 16 years of age, they go into their high school with automatic weapons and handguns, they go apeshit. They shoot 20 or 30 of their fellow pupils before turning one of the guns on themselves. What is their fucking problem? Do they not know where the staff room is? They could be heroes! There's two ways to stop bullying. As I see it, ladies and gentlemen, there are two ways to stop bullying. Firstly, you can stop the bullies. Well, that's been tried. Secondly, you can stop the kids that are being bullied from being such f***y dicks. And really, the best way to do that is bullying. My what, sorry?
Were you bullied at school, sir?
Was I bullied at school? No. What, sorry?
You are
But I am a f***y twat. We're all having fun. I'll just open this can of whoop-ass. Pop that there. You're remarkably confident for a man in some sort of hooded top. What do you do for a living, sir? Do you mind me asking?
I'm a student.
You're a student. What are you studying?
I'm still in secondary school in Ireland.
You're still in secondary school in Ireland? And what do you want to be when you grow up?
Lawyer.
What, sorry?
A lawyer.
You want to be a lawyer? So you know you're a cunt, you're going down that road. And who are you here with this evening?
I'm alone.
You're alone? So far we know you're alone and you're a bit of a cunt. I'm liking you, frankly. What's your name, sir?
Chris.
Chris. Hey, Chris. You all right? And have you just come over for the show, or have you come over for the weekend? Just came over for the show. Well, God bless you, Chris. Feel free to join in any time you want. The more aggressive, the better, frankly. I quite like it. Chris bullied me. Yes, you will be. If you're being bullied because you've got a speech impediment, maybe you're from the Republic of Ireland. Now, if you're being bullied because you've got a speech impediment, there are people you can talk to. But it will take fucking ages. And And they may giggle a bit. I had a friend, she had a speech impediment. It was quite a severe sort of lispy thing. She was bullied so mercilessly at her job that she left. She's moved down to the coast now to work in the tourism industry. She sells seashells by the seashore. She doesn't like to talk about it. She can't. If you've got a lisp and you're offended by that, sorry. Any Welsh people in? Any Welsh? Oh, it's quite a few. Well, we seem to have contained the problem. I'm loving the Welsh. I like the Welsh language. And I like the Welsh language because it was clearly invented by a dad losing at Scrabble. That's clearly what's happened there. That's not a word, it starts with 3 L's. It is a bloody word. Well, how's it pronounced? I was in North Wales last year. I was in Llandudno. Has anyone been to Llandudno? Yeah. If it's a no, you don't have to answer. That's how. I'll ask again. Has anyone been to Llandudno? Yeah. Oh, a few of you have been. It's a lovely town. I was there anyway, doing a show. Got on stage, walked out. I said, "It's lovely to be in Llandudno." This guy, front and centre, where you're sitting there, face like fucking thunder, went, "It's not Llandudno, you bloody fool. It's Llandudno. In Wales, the double L is pronounced with a C." I said, "All right, don't be a lunt about it." When I read about that Austrian fella, it was bound to come up, wasn't it? When I read about Joseph Fritzl building a cellar under his house to imprison his own daughter for 24 years so he could systematically torture and abuse 2 generations of his own family, here's my first thought. This is how middle class I am. My first thought was, I bet he didn't have planning permission for that. Oh, we'd all like to add some square footage, but there are some fucking rules, mate. Has anyone in here ever tried any DIY? Give us a shout if you've ever tried any kind of DIY, yes? Yeah. Most everyone's tried. Can anyone who's ever tried DIY, hand on heart, tell me they don't have a little bit of admiration for the work that Fritzl did? It's not easy building stuff, is it? It's not easy to be a tidy workman. I'm not saying I approve of what he did down there, but he built a cellar without his wife even fucking noticing. I'm just saying credit where credit is due. A round of applause for a Fritzl joke. You may be my kind of town. He was described in the Daily Express newspaper as the most evil man in Austrian history. Not even close. Hitler. What's your name, madam? What's your name? It's not the telly. I can see you. What's your name?
Camilla.
Camilla. And what do you do, Camilla? I suppose it depends on the guy. I'm only messing about. Just you look all dressed up for this sort of show, this kind of filth. Maybe he told you, well, we're going to go and see a theatre show in the West End of London. You went, fucking brilliant. You probably didn't even say fucking. You probably went, marvellous. The West End of London, a theatre show. This will be, a bit of class. And he's finally, and then you, this, and you're going, for fuck's sake. You bought the ticket, and how do you two know each other? Mum. That's your mum? Well, you don't even look like, you look as if you could be sisters. You don't look young, she looks fucking old. Let yourself go. I can't help myself. It's some sort of trap. I love the fact you've just turned around to go, does she? What have you done to yourself there? You've got a little thing on your...
I told you.
What did you do? He's got a little bandage on his face there. What have you done?
I had a growth cut out.
You had a growth cut off your face? Oh, sexy. Wow. It'll look better after. No, I like the little thing. It's very, very macho. You could make up a better story than that, I feel. There's got to be a better story than I had a growth. I had a black eye a while back. I had a black eye because I was playing tennis. I got a tennis ball in the face, so I got a black eye. Obviously, that's a shit story. So what I said to people initially was, you should see the other bloke. Fun for about half an hour. Then I hit upon this. People said, what happened to your eye? I go, you should see my wife. You can visit her, she's in hospital. See, it's all class, this, Camilla. Wife beating. Oh. Good. Well, we'll check in with you from time to time, check you're happy. Good. What do you do? I didn't ask. What do you do?
I have a diving school in Indonesia.
You have a diving school in Indonesia? Wow. I mean, I've heard some tall stories that paedophiles tell. You're a sexual tourist. You disgust me. What kind of diving? That sounds fucking great. Cool. Well done, you. I was going to go diving in Indonesia last year, but I read this thing online that said you can get a thing where... fucking growth on your face. Tiny little things irritate me in life. I don't know if you get this, but really quite trivial things annoy me. You know when you go into a fish and chip shop, let's say on a Friday, right? And the guy in an all too chirpy voice, it's the chirpiness that gets me, goes, as you walk in, he goes, chips will be 5 minutes. What? What do you mean the chips are going to be 5 minutes? Did you not think I was going to order chips? It's a chip shop. The clue's very much in the name. This is the one scenario you really should have been prepared for. It's like when you go into a Greggs or any high street bakery. Go into any high street bakery at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and they will say, in the same voice, wherever you go in the country, they'll go, we've run out of rolls. And then they'll explain it. They'll go, loads of people came in at lunch and had rolls. Now we've run out. Like there was nothing they could do. Make some more, you fucking I sometimes get it in Starbucks. Do you go into Starbucks? I love Starbucks. I love the posh coffee. You walk in there, though, at the end of the day, and they'll go, we've turned the coffee machine off. Well, turn it back on, fuck knuckle. I didn't come in for a chat. I want a fucking coffee. I sometimes get it in department stores at the end of the day. You know, if you're in a big department store at the end of the day, you'll get from behind the counter quite a snooty voice. Excuse me, we're closed. You find yourself thinking, well, how did I get in here? Am I a burglar? I don't want to be a burglar. Do you go into McDonald's? You might go in there later on. You might need a poo. Have you noticed how underneath McDonald's it still says restaurant? Who's that for? Who doesn't know what McDonald's do? And also, restaurant. Is it a restaurant? Really? You guys are a couple, right? How long have you been together? A year and a bit. OK, so long-term relationship, a year and a bit, you've been together. How annoyed would you be, madam, on a scale between 1 and fucking very, if next Valentine's he said to you, yeah, I booked a restaurant, yeah. Yeah, I spoke to the maitre d'. Yeah. Ronald, I think his name was. He was either the maitre d' or a 5-star general, because he had the whole bit, oh yeah. I've organised a table for 2 and he recommends the filet-o-fish. You'd fucking kill him, wouldn't you? And who doesn't know what McDonald's do at this stage? You'd have to have been living underground for 25 fucking years. Was ist das? Hamburger. Schnitzel. Schnitzel for the fritzer. Nick, any Catholics in? Oh, quite a few over there, yeah. I'm a lapsed Catholic. I knew my days were over in the Catholic Church when I found myself at communion thinking, I like the wine, I'm loving the wafer. Any chance of a bit of cheese? Don't get me wrong, though, I still respect the Pope. I like to think of the Pope as king of the pedos. He's the best one. He's the ringleader. He's Gary Glitter's boss. Did you see the story about Gary Glitter? There was a GCSE music question about Gary Glitter. How bad's that? How bad's that? A GCSE music question about a Gary Glitter song. Because if there's one artist you don't want associated with the phrase, shh, turn over, you've got an hour. I should probably leave Glitter alone. He just wants to settle down and have kids. Someone asked me recently, any grooming tips? I said, yeah, don't do it, it's illegal. Sorry, I can't help but notice, you look quite young now. How old are you, sir? Do you mind me asking? You're what, sorry? 13. You're 13? And you're did you understand that grooming joke? It's just, I could explain it to you backstage afterwards. Most natural thing in the world. Who are you here with? Your dad? You're fine with this filth, aren't you, sir? Are you fine with this level of filth? Good, you couldn't give a fuck. Brilliant. Well, the good news is you've got a cool dad. The bad news is you're going to have to go into care. Because he's not very responsible. I like sort of pub jokes that conjure up a nice image in your head. I like, why do women watch porn to the end? To see if they get married. It's adorable, isn't it? I like this joke because it's very northern, very Yorkshire joke. Any Yorkshire people in? Oh, well, I'll tell it in a Yorkshire accent to patronise you. We didn't have paedophiles when I were a lad. We had to buy our own sweets. How Yorkshire is that? While we're on the subject of religion, I imagine there's quite a few people in here that go to Mass or wherever Protestants go. Hell, I'd imagine, I know. Have you all seen the new Mel Gibson film? The Passion of the Christ. It's upset an awful lot of Christians. They're up in arms about it. He's made a film about the life of Christ, but he's tacked on this silly Hollywood ending where the hero comes back at the end. Does she love the little baby Jesus, or...? Does she love the little baby Jesus or not? She go for a wee. Is it a wee or a poo? Should we time her? It's always a bit embarrassing, isn't it? When people say they hear voices in their heads, as opposed to where exactly? Hearing voices in your legs. That's properly mental. I saw an advert for adult literacy classes in the newspaper. Are there any single men in this evening? Anyone single? You're single. Well, don't panic. I've got some advice for you. If you really like a girl and you ask her out and she says to you, I love you like a brother, suggest a weekend in Norfolk. Unless you're from Norfolk, in which case it probably is your sister. So are you from Norfolk? You don't look like you're from Norfolk. You're from Thetford in Norfolk. And is that your sister, girlfriend, both? Sorry, and you're here with your sister? Not really, though. Saturday night out, I'll take my sister. She's a looker. Have you ever with the... I'm only asking. Do you think your sister's attractive, can I ask? Do you think she's attractive or not? She's okay. Did you give her one? That was very low, sorry. What about you, love? I can't believe that. He's from Norfolk. And he's brought his sister. It could scarcely be better. I'm amazed you didn't bring your mum. Did you split up? Oh, marvellous. Imagine your family tree's a straight line, is it? It's just a piece of timber. Sorry. I may have misjudged this. It looks as if there's going to be a short fight after the gig, which I imagine I'll be losing. Is she? Do you think she got bladder problems? Maybe some sort of yeast infection, I'm not... We'll ask her when she comes back. I just hope she hasn't got any vaginal difficulties. It's a lovely word, though, isn't it, vaginal? Oh, clearly not. Are you two a couple? Do you mind me asking how on earth that happened? What were you thinking? You don't know? You do a lot better than that. You're punching way above your weight. Not just a little bit, it's a different league. Well done. Is that money or personality or low self-esteem on her part? Lovely little mix of all three. That's basically the show, Your Face or Mine. That's it, that's all we do. We string that out for half an hour, the magic of television. Although it's quite awkward sometimes because there's quite young couples on the show and, you know, they're 19 or 20 and they're talking about their looks and it can be a bit awkward sometimes. We had an incident on the show where a woman came on with a medical complaint. I'm not sure what the correct medical term is, but she had a wonky face. I'm pretty sure that's not the correct medical term, but... She wasn't an unattractive girl either. She was quite good looking, but one half of her face was a lot lower than the other. Just a bit wonky. What had happened is she'd sent in a videotape to be on the show and recorded it rather coquettishly like that. And then she turned up and gone like that, and we'd all gone like that. And obviously the producer said, well, this is, it's quite a serious thing. This is a show about looks, and she's got a wonky face. We've got to at least address it for the audience. I thought, what am I going to say? What's with a wonky face, love? I didn't say that. I said, could you tell me about your face? And luckily she played along. She said, yes, there's a story behind this. When I was 11, I had a skiing accident. I was skiing down the side of a hill, and I skied into the side of a chalet. And I broke my leg and my arm and my jawbone and my cheekbone and my eye socket, and I had to be airlifted to hospital. And I said, at least you got to go in a helicopter. Her face fell. Sadly, it didn't even up. That would have been rather miraculous. I can't be the only person. I mean, in real life, I do constantly put my foot in it. I can't be the only one that does these kind of things, but I mean, I've learned the hard way that you're not meant to refer to your partner as your current girlfriend. It suggests you're looking for an upgrade. And that doesn't seem to keep them on their toes the way you would think it might. Oh no, they don't like it. I've also got a policy now, after several unfortunate incidents, whereby I would rather see a pregnant woman standing on a bus than a fat girl sitting down crying. Come on, we've all made that mistake, haven't we? The worst thing is you know immediately you've made it. When's it due? Hang on, there's nothing due. You just like your food. It's a terrible moment. You just want the earth to open up and swallow her. Obviously, have to be a fucking big hole. I should, I suppose, point out at this early stage in the show that despite my dress and general demeanour, I'm not gay. Unless you're from Newcastle. And by gay, you mean owns a coat. You're looking a bit disappointed there. Sorry, it's just homosexuality isn't my thing. No hard feelings. Sorry, I don't want to spoil the mood. I'm not, I'm not homophobic. I'm not scared of you. It's fine, obviously some people are straight, some people are gay. That is fine. I'm what you might call a stray. I'm straight, but I'm socially gay. It means I'll notice when a female friend changes her hair or buys new shoes, but I won't accept your cock in my arse. It's less of a joke, it's just something I wanted to make absolutely clear. I get the feeling from that look on your face that I may have misjudged this situation. You either look hard or gay. Hopefully not both. You look as if you want to take me outside. I'm not entirely sure why. Suppose either way I'm buggered. As I'm sure you all would have ascertained, I'm quite middle class, and I'm from the home counties. So I don't have an accent. This is just how things sound when they're pronounced properly. Not that there's anything wrong with being working class these days. Being working class is very much like masturbation. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Of course, it's nothing to be proud of either. And both give you calluses on your hands. My girlfriend always says, "You never tell me how much you love me." I don't want to upset her. A couple of weeks ago, we were making love, and she had an asthma attack. I did briefly think I was doing really rather well. Then about sort of the 90-second, 2-minute mark, I thought, hang on, she's laying this on a bit, Fig. Either she wants something or she's not well. And she wasn't well. I totally panicked. I didn't know what to do, so I phoned a friend of mine who's a doctor, and he lives just down the road from me, and I said to him, what should I do? He said, well, yeah, don't panic. It could be quite serious. It probably isn't, but I'll pop right over. I said, what should I do in the meantime? He said, finish yourself off. Don't give me that look. It was the right thing to do. I realised I shouldn't really take the piss out of the asthmatics. They've got enough to worry about. The National Asthmatics Emergency Helpline Service was shut down recently. Apparently a problem with all the obscene phone calls. A lot of asthmatics in? No, I would have heard you. I don't know if anyone's got this. There are lots of couples in this evening. How many couples do we have? Quite a few. By show of hands. How many do we have by shouting out? Hundreds. Brilliant. I'm wondering, does anyone have this arrangement in their relationship? It's becoming ever more common now for couples to have an arrangement whereby they're totally faithful to each other, but they've got a clause whereby if one of them was to meet a certain celebrity, they would be allowed to stray. Has anyone got that going on in their relationship? Who have you got?
You.
Right. I noticed that you're sitting next to a lady. You're going to do what when you go home? She's going to kill you? Right. Or strap one on and fuck you, certainly. One or the other. Anyone else got one? You've got one. Who have you got? Jim Carrey. All right. He might be up for it. And who's your boyfriend got? Anything, I'm not bothered. What? Sorry? Anything good looking. What, bit of a change? Yeah, lovely. You can't say that. The reason I mention it is because I've got an arrangement with my girlfriend whereby if I ever get the opportunity to sleep with Kylie Minogue, she can fuck off. Are you all aware of what snowballing is, the sexual practice snowballing? Yeah. One bloke down. Who was that down there? Quite proud of that. Well done. Everyone else, none the while. OK, well, I'll explain. It says something about you. Snowballing is a sexual practice where, having administered oral sex, your partner doesn't spit or swallow so much as return to sender via a kiss. Oh, you're looking shocked and appalled as I explain that to you. Let me assure you, I found out the hard way. And it does raise an interesting moral dilemma. Should you spit or swallow? Well, if you really love yourself. So I can see some friends of mine up there, and you're explaining that to your mum. Brilliant. Oh, what a brilliant day out that will be. What a lovely drive home. So this snowballing thing. Now, have we got anyone in from around the country? Is there anyone in from the north? Oh, quite a few of you. Oh. I ask you, what's the point in having a north-south divide if you're not going to police it? It is a peculiarity of the United Kingdom that people from Liverpool tend to think people from Manchester are a bunch of cunts. And vice versa, people from Manchester think people from Liverpool are a bunch of cunts. When will they realise? So I should apologise, really, because I've used the C word rather a lot so far this evening, and I know a lot of people, especially the ladies, let's be honest, find that a little bit offensive. There is, of course, an alternative to cunt. I don't mean up the arse. No, are you all familiar with the phrase, see you next Tuesday? See, it's the polite English way of saying the C word so as not to cause too much offence. Although, ironically, I can't think of too many situations where you want to call someone a cunt, but you don't want to offend them. Sort of what I like about it. I'll have a bit of a sit down, I think. Oh, you're all right? Was this the sort of thing you had in mind? No, right, okay, I'm fucked. Who's come the furthest? Has anyone come from, like, a long way away, overseas? Or Canvey Island? Right, now I know Canvey Island, so I happen to know that you've not come a long way from your home, you've just brought it with you. Did you come with him? No, good. Canvey Island's the furthest anyone came. Well, fuck you. You were all in the area anyway, were you? What's that? Was that Dover? Or you were castrated before you got a chance to... Right. Were you worried about sounding silly, so you thought, well, I'll put on a ludicrous high-pitched voice? That should sort things out, shouldn't it? So you're a sailor, are you? Imagine my surprise at your high-pitched voice. Now, I don't know if anyone's seen any of the other TV shows that I made. I make a show called Distraction at the moment. Has anyone seen that? Oh, just about everyone. And one person liked it. Well, that's good. If I can entertain just one man, I'll have been shit. The Distractions is quite good. It's Channel 4's replacement to Sex in the City. Just imagine the city is Dundee and the sex is anal. You get the idea. I do another show called Your Face or Mine. Has everyone seen that? Yes. It's quite good fun, I think. It's a fun show. It's as shallow as a tinker's bar. Sorry, no offence, I didn't mean to... Your hair. What, I'm just saying. I like the Spice Girls as much as the next man, but... I can't help noticing you've got a tattoo on your... Well, it's your boob, isn't it, really? It sort of draws the eye. What is that, exactly? It's a rose. On your... As if boobs aren't fun enough as they are. She's thought, I'll tell you, I'll brighten these things up. No fella's going to like these. What do guys like? They like flowers, don't they? Yeah, I'll get a picture of a flower. Did you not think, what do you like? What kind of thing? You look like the sort of bloke that like cars and guns and tanks. Get a nice tattoo of a tank on your tip. Lovely. He could be, you know, and going, oh, is that a Sherman? Because flowers, unless he's secretly gay, and I'll be honest, there's a lot of earrings and spiky hair. Good, fine. Environmentalists tell us that every day an area the size of Wales is destroyed. Why is it never Wales? So are there Welsh people in this evening? You're from Wales? Well, don't worry. Do you know what the most common crime is in Wales? No. Hang on, I've got to ask someone about her foo-foo. It's a long time for a pee, you all right? You're fine? You sure? Is that better? Bless you. Sorry, I was just talking to your friend about being from Wales. Do you know what the most common crime is in Wales? Have a guess. What guess? Sheep shagging? Well, that's rather insulting, isn't it? And to add insult to injury, you're wrong. It's not sheep shagging. It's actually ram raiding. The second most common crime is having sex with a minor. If anyone's offended, just look for the other meaning. You'll be fine. I did a gig for the Aisling Foundation. Does anyone know the Aisling Foundation? No. Well, they're quite a small charity based in London. They're an Irish charity, and what they do is they take Irish builders and navvies that came over in the 1950s and 60s, and these are older guys, they've fallen on hard times, they give them pensions and retirement homes on the west coast of Ireland. And I did a gig for them. I thought it was a great charity. I went out there, I said, it's lovely to be here supporting the Aisling Foundation. I've got a new slogan for you. Fuck off home, the roads are finished. Apparently they're famous for their sense of humour. Oh no, they're fucking not. The other charity that I did a gig for last year was Stonewall. You know Stonewall, the largest gay charity in Europe? I did a gig for them up in Edinburgh. I went on, I said, it's lovely to be here in Edinburgh. I'm not sure about supporting Stonewall. Sure, maybe if we raise enough money, maybe one day we'll be able to find a cure. But I'm not sure there's anything wrong with being gay. That was pretty much their reaction. Although they were slightly more theatrical. I don't want to sound callous or unkind or cruel, but the Children of Courage Awards, how much courage does it take to get poorly? All I'm saying is, maybe we could just change the name to the Children of Horrible Misfortune. That way we could include ugly children as well. If anyone's sitting there thinking, I really didn't like that joke, I don't like the subject matter, I didn't think it was very funny. Imagine how it went down at the Great Ormond Street Gala. Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, one of my ambitions is to write a book. Like many comedians, I'd love to write a book, but I don't really want to write a novel because I don't know if you've ever read a novel by a comedian, but they're shite. We don't seem very good at it. It requires having an idea that lasts more than 30 seconds. Not going to happen. So what I thought I'd do is a book of correspondence, because that way you're getting someone else to do half the work. Oh, yeah, always thinking. Would you like to hear them? Well, good, good. Otherwise we'd be having some quiet time. This is the first letter that I wrote. It's to my local MP, Chris Smith. Dear Mr. Smith, do you get tired of people writing to you who are clearly just wasting your time and have nothing better to do? This is to Charlie Statham, who's the head doctor of NHS Direct in West London. Dear sir, I heard about a doctor that took out someone's appendix with a coat hanger on a plane. Now, I'm not a qualified doctor, but I do take an interest and I've got all the proper kit. Could you talk me through the procedure? Please write back soon, she's in terrible pain. Is anyone in here a member of Amnesty International? I think someone's timidly put up a hand at the back, but are you worried about being persecuted? Well, I wrote a letter to the head of Amnesty International in the UK. I hope you like it. It's to Kate Allen, Director of Amnesty International UK. Dear Madam, I like what you people do. Writing letters to complain about human rights violations is like a political version of Points of View. The BBC or fascist leader may not change what they do as a result, but at least you'll slow down their day as they wade through the postbag. I'd be surprised if they got round to torturing anyone before 11:30, the number of letters you send. Lots of people do nothing because they know they cannot change the world. But you good people are not deterred from making futile gestures on behalf of human rights. And I, for one, applaud you. Inspired by your unilateral approach, I decided to hold a fundraising dinner on your behalf at my home. I charge people £20 a head to come and enjoy a meal and drinks, with all profits to go to Amnesty. Although a success creatively, we went for a South American theme, unfortunately the groceries were expensive, as was the booze, and in the end I made a loss. You now owe me £57.40. Now Amnesty, God bless them, got back to me almost immediately with this letter. To be honest, it's a little bit condescending. Dear Jimmy, thank you for your letter. I was delighted to hear that you're a supporter of Amnesty. You do appear to have a few misunderstandings about the work we do. So I've enclosed a copy of our new information leaflet, What We Do. Which, fair enough, is a very good name for an information leaflet. I've also enclosed a copy of our new annual review, Human Rights Before Profit, which I've had a flick through and is no way to run a company. Regarding your recent fundraising dinner, I'm sorry to hear that all the energy and creativity which you put into your event did not result in you being able to make your planned fundraising donation. I usually advise our supporters to start small and build up with their fundraising. It's also an excellent idea to work out a simple budget beforehand. And to have a think about just how many people you can attract as guests to your event. This helps immeasurably with planning your expenditure and setting your ticket price, and hopefully will ensure a different outcome at your next fundraiser. In terms of your request that Amnesty reimburse you for the loss, I'm afraid I will have to say no. Well, I was very disappointed and £57.40 out of pocket. But I had a money-making idea. Who buys fair trade products here? Quite a few of you buy fair trade? You know, the tea, the coffee, the sugar, that kind of thing. I had a bit of, I think I spotted a gap in the market, so I wrote them a letter. The reason I'm writing is I think I've spotted a gap in the market. Told you. No one is more exploited than the farmer of the coca leaf. Whilst drug barons get rich exploiting both third world farmers and first world recreational users, we stand by and do nothing. I propose a fair trade cocaine joint venture. I have a contact in distribution, and you guys have the perfect cover to sell through customs. Who knows, if it all takes off, we could end up millionaires. Brackets, and help the poor. Feminists say, and you may agree with this, you may not, feminists say, a woman's work is never done. Maybe they got themselves organised a little bit better. It's a bit of an icy stare you give me there, madam. What you've got to understand is that's postmodern misogyny. That joke is in fact steeped in irony. So don't you worry your pretty little head about it, love.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Carr, and that was an old clip of me. That happened in the past when I was funny. I'm still funny now. Come and see me live on tour. Join in. IRL. Yeah, kids.